Hello, hello. Um, Welcome back. To the app session, the podcast kind of vibe. I've been loving Minecraft, playing that in the background. But happy Valentine's Day to anyone who's celebrates that. I know some people are lonely, some people have relationships. Hope you had fun doing that. I don't know when this video will go out, probably after, but yeah, I had a good time for myself. I had an early thing, which would have been probably around the same time the last video I made. I made the last video on that like vacation kind of thing, which was for an early Valentine's. But this video is talking about a little bit more personal. I guess you could be like, you can relate to Valentine's Day if you have nobody to spend it with. Uh, I'm a person who's a little bit uncomfortable to talk, and that's exactly why I'm making this video. So happy Valentine's Day to anyone. And well, because this video is gonna be romantic or anything, but I started a new job. Well, by the time I like upload this, I probably started a new job. I haven't yet, but I need to get used to the new environment, the new people, the new routines, expectations even. It's just something that you're not like I guess for someone who's not a big speaker himself, ironically, because I yap on YouTube, but I'm someone who struggles with actually like talking in real to like day-to-day life. And every time I enter a new space, something like a new job, I feel the same thing. I go quiet. I'm the observer and I like to analyze and stay in my head. Not because I don't want to talk or, open up, but it's just the feeling of opening up in an unfamiliar environment feels weirdly difficult for me. It takes me a lot of time before I feel comfortable enough to be, myself. And that idea of comfort is what this video is about. Because, comfort is safety, but that comfort can also be a trap. So, moving into this new job, and I want to leave comfort behind. I recently left my job, so that vacation was an in between, switching careers, not careers, sorry, switching environments. Like my last company, it's one of those companies people hop online. It's a dream fang type environment that everyone praises about. But honestly, I didn't enjoy it there. Like I just didn't enjoy being there. That environment didn't feel right. I didn't feel like myself, and I felt like I was stuck in a routine. And even though it's quite familiar, I was there for about 10 months. I wasn't happy. And that's the weird thing about comfort. It can be miserable. But I was low-key afraid to leave because, I was in a FANG company. People dream about that. But at least I knew, what being miserable felt like, right? And taking this opportunity to take this new job, I'm stepping into the unknown. And it means stepping outside into slight discomfort. So I'm going to be meeting new people. It's a new space and it's forcing me out of that shell. The shell won't disappear. It will follow me. I just hope I don't catch myself being, an observer instead of being a participant, the listener instead of the speaker, and the watcher instead of the person in the moment. And I hate that. There was something I recently watched just before, I went on this vacation. It was a live event on Netflix. I don't own Netflix, so I used a totally legit way to watch it. But it was about Alex Honnold, a rock climber, a professional free solo climber. Basically, a guy who climbs, massive walls. There's a documentary that he posted, not he posted, but he made or was in rather, called Free Solo, which was years ago. I think 2016 or 2017. Free soloing is the idea of climbing without a rope, like no harness and no backup. It's like nothing to I guess keep you alive if you fail. It's the ultimate test for a lot of humans. I think the idea of like testing your mental and also testing your physical. Like a lot of people could probably climb the walls that he climbs. Not me, but hopefully one day. But nobody has the sorry, I'll rewrite that. Not a lot of people have the mental capacity to be able to commit and do what he does without the rope, just his chalk bag and his shoes. Pure skill, focus, and the understanding that one mistake is it. It's honestly like Minecraft hardcore, but in real life. Honestly, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not comparing. Talking to new coworkers is the same as climbing. What he did in this live event, which is a skyscraper. But what inspires me wasn't the climbing itself. Obviously, I enjoyed that sport, so watching it felt rite of passage for me. But it's the mindset this man has, the dedication to the craft, and the willingness to face, fear repeatedly. The ability to exist in the moment that most people would run from. He's not fearless, just has the ability to control his fears. And that makes me reflect on my own life. Like, how can I be honestly, a bitch boy who struggles to stand in a room full of 30 people when this guy is climbing vertical death traps and I'm overthinking small talk? So that's something I need to realize. I'm very comfortable being in the background, being that quiet dude, observing the social dynamics, thinking before he speaks, or even letting the conversations happen around me. There's nothing wrong with being introverted, but there's something wrong when fear of discomfort stops you from growing or even interacting with people. Like, if I want to go further in this company, I need to be more. I need to speak more. Because this growth, that I want to grow in this company, won't happen inside my comfort bubble. Comfort is predictable, it's quite quiet, and it doesn't challenge you as much. So, this is my goal for joining this new job. I want to move forward. I think that's where my head is at right now. And just wanting to be more confident, more expressive, and more present. I'm going to push myself and I'm going to prove that. I'll come back, maybe 5 months from now, and I'll let you guys know not just how many friends I make, but how many opportunities I give myself. I already know, uh, for reference, how can I make this without leaking where I work? 20 people got a position this year out of a decent amount. I'll say that. Especially where the job market's going, I got a job in this market is something. So, watching someone dedicate their life to something as intense as, free soloing made me question what moves me forward? What challenges me mentally the same way climbing challenges Alex, physically or rather even mentally? I'm not going to say I'm going to free solo tomorrow. Maybe I'll water solo one day, something a bit safer. I was actually looking to that when I was planning my Vietnam holiday. The idea of doing water soloing, kind of crazy, but yeah, terrifying, but in a great way. But for me, the real challenge isn't going to be physical. It's going to be social. It's going to be mental. So I'm gonna speak up in the room conversations, whatever, during our introduction meeting, all the higher ups and everything. I'm gonna express my thoughts without overthinking them and allow myself to exist without hiding behind observation. Because being the observer is comfortable, and I need to do more, especially in the way the world is going. All this pressure. Don't pay pity like don't take pity on me for this video. I'm not calling myself weak. I'm just realizing and acknowledging something that I need to change. I've spent a lot of my life just watching instead of participating, or rather thinking instead of acting. And maybe that protected me in some ways, but now I want to improve. I want to improve that. I want to build some confidence in some way that builds someone, you know, the ability to do their craft, the repetition, discomfort, and intention. So yeah, I feel like every video I upload is gonna be like some motivational fucking speech or something. But yeah, this is just me yapping about how Valentine's Day was a cool event for me. Um, let's watch Alex Honnold fucking climb a skyscraper. Honestly, if you haven't seen that, it's insane. It's called Skyscraper on Netflix. He climbs in Taipei 101, I think it was. Such a cool video. I honestly watched it mute because I couldn't stand the lady fucking narrating. It was horrible. But yeah, he's someone I look up to, and I want to be more present. That's it. That's it. It's not a confidence. Is like I want to accept like I can gain confidence. Something I've always struggled with, and I think a lot of us live like this. We stay in our day to day routines, roles, just to feel safe. And that was something that I felt when I was staying at that company for not just like my short term when I was working there. I only worked there for about 8 months, but a lot of people around me there felt like that. They were so safe being where they were. For reference, I worked as tech support in a warehouse. Probably not a really good job for someone who just finished university, but it is what it is. So I was surrounded by people who, not to be rude, but were slightly like aimless and didn't know where to go. But the money was good. So you just stay there, clock in, clock out, take your money and go home. You weren't really building any skills or any, you know, abilities to go up. Obviously, if you don't have a family of fucking five and your kids to feed, I understand that. But I was talking more about people closer to my age or just above me. I don't know. So life is tough, and I understand that. So me at this new job, I want to step out of my identity and do something more risky for once. So let's see how this goes. Maybe fear is a signal, not something that I should run away from, but rather I should lean into a little. But yeah, so I just want to grow more than I have and more than I ever will. Not just saying that I got to do this at this own job, but maybe I got to implement this in my own life. Ironically, at climbing, when I go to like, the gym, climbing gym, I do talk to a lot of people more than I probably will or anywhere else because it's so easy. We're both doing the same climb or something. I feel comfortable there. And I think it's because I'm in the gym. Like I'm comfortable climbing in the climbing gym. Somewhere like a new job, I got to talk to people or I won't be able to make it up or be able to get more opportunities. And I can't stay as a quiet observer forever. I don't know what this fucking video is. Like a rant, a journal entry, a self call out. But I want to participate in my own life more. And I want to challenge that fear of public settings the same way people challenge fear in other ways. Gradual, intentional, and I guess patience. Because confidence isn't something that you wait for, it's something you chase, or rather build. But yeah, that's the process that I'm going through right now. Yeah. And maybe that's just enough. Well, well, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, whatever. I know this feels a bit just rambling, but hey, you can't complain. There's a bit of Minecraft content in the background while I just talk. I don't know if you're doing a run, taking a shit, whatever you're doing, let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.